Greetings, everyone. My name is Nkosi Gola. I'm from Khayelitsha. I grew up in Khayelitsha. I was born in the Eastern Cape, Mganduli. I'm not sure where to start, but perhaps let me take Khayelitsha as my the starting point. So in the block where I grew up in, there's a couple number of friends I had who now either have passed away, they're in jail, they are very drunk, or they are people of the Lord Jesus Christ, like crazy about the Lord Jesus Christ. Now, for me, these are indicative of something. And most of the people I'm talking about, they grew up without their fathers. Now, that will beg for a question of where does this all come from? Now, if you were to look at me individually, you will see me as a success. But then what does this success mean in the context where what is being breeded by the society I'm part of, like, creates this madness where a person as young as the age of 23 is now dead? Because people I'm talking about, those who've died, they died, say, 5 to 6 years ago. And they might have been in those ages, 20 to 23 and all of that, because of criminal activities and issues around that. Now, if you are to look at the generation that gave birth to me, that is a generation from 1957 to 1966 at most. And if you are to look at the context of South Africa at the time, there was war. One, you can talk of colonialism and the height of apartheid. Remember, South Africa is turning to be the Republic of South Africa only in 1961. Now, that says something. Now, if that generation has given birth to these people, doesn't that have something didn't that play something into who did we become? Because so my father passed away in 2013. I have recently heard that he might have had a son whom I've never met. So in my mother, I'm the firstborn. Now, who grew that guy, this other guy up? I don't even know him. I've not met him. But I'm wondering what has happened to him. And also looking at my friends, the ones that I grew up with, who grew up without their fathers, and the impact that has upon them. Therefore, if we aren't able to connect that historical context with the current fathers we have, I think we'll be missing something in dealing with the problems of manhood in our society. Another example I'd like to make is these multiple identities that men have to assume as they become part of the society. Multiple personalities, multiple identities. Where I move from Khayelitsha as a man, because I'm a father here, I'm a husband. Then I come to Constantia, I become a boy. Who gets instructions from a 20-year-old white boy? Now, this must do something in the consciousness of a person, this man. And if we aren't able to look into it, that we will fail to see the actual meaning of manhood in our society. I think manhood differs from Khayelitsha and Constantia, or Khayelitsha and city center, Cape Town. Like, there are two different men. Those are two different men. That's not the same man. Even though they might carry the same name. I mean, up until today, I've not seen even a single white person carrying a broom in South Africa, whether they're just standing through it. Like, that's a problem. My father, when I grew up, he would never pick up a dog's, let me use the word poo. But at work, I assure you that he did. He would wake us up to clean the dog poo. other we're sleeping. But at work it does that. Now, my question is, doesn't this have anything to do with who this man is? A third example I want to make is of the initiation school itself. Now, here you have, I grew up as a boy, then I go to the school. Now, in the school, I apply that thing, we call it imbola that. I apply that. And in that, for me, it looks like I represent, or I look like what I used to look like in Africa prior to the arrival of white people. But as I come out, I look like an Englishman. Doesn't this symbolism say something about who am I? I only become a man as far as I am in proximity with whiteness. Now, that's another problem. In the sense that we've lost everything, such that what looks like a man to us looks more English. Hence, we are even using this language as a way in which we can communicate and hear each other fully. But then also I want to include this other example of a, in the Eastern Cape at home, a shack is something that is used to keep chickens and pigs. But when I come to Cape Town, I find myself in a shack. Doesn't this do anything to me? Doesn't this say that, doesn't this animalize me, thingify me as a man, as a woman? Like in South Africa currently. I think I will just stop there.